The fresh expectation of spring is a beautiful feeling. At this time of the year, our lawn turns into a field of onion weed flowers. Many people consider them a pest and invasive weed, but I love their delicate onion flavour. Let me show you some of the ways I like to enjoy this versatile, nutritious superfood. So we've got our beautiful onion weed here, and we can enjoy the onion weed from root to tip in the springtime. Today we're going to start with the bulb. So I've got all the roots taken off here, and we're going to slice just the white parts off for the mayonnaise. That bit off there. Move these ones off the board for now. So we just want to chop our onion weed through. Okay. And then we'll scoop those up, pop them into our processor. Okay. Also going to add some mustard, so this helps it emulsify. So I'll put 1 tablespoon of mustard in there. So now we're going to put the Aquafaba in, Aquafaba is the liquid from chickpeas cooking. It has protein from the chickpeas or the beans. You could use white bean liquid as well. So that acts as a replacement for an egg. You could also use an egg yolk. So that's 60 mils of Aquafaba going in. So I've incorporated the onion weed into this mayonnaise. Instead of using garlic like you would in aioli, I'm using the onion weed as that component. So it has that light, delicate kind of chive flavour throughout the mayonnaise. I don't put the acid in at this point, the lemon and the apple cider vinegar, because that kind of contributes to the splitting of the mayonnaise, which often happens when people are making homemade mayonnaise. So we're going to add the extra virgin olive oil, 1/3 at a time, and then blitz it really well in between. So I'll add that there. And then we'll add another 1/3. In between each addition, you want to make sure that it has emulsified, so you have to give it a really long blitz. Okay, can I show you? Yeah. Okay, so you can see in here that it's emulsified, so it's not split, it's all pale in one colour. So now we'll add another bit of oil, blitz well. Okay, so as you can see there, it's thickened up really nicely. So now we can add our acid in the form of some lemon and some apple cider vinegar. So we'll just take the zest off the lemon. The zest is where all the flavour is in the lemon, so we just want to pop that in there first. Okay. And now we'll get the juice. So I'm just holding my fingers underneath the lemon while I squeeze it to catch all the pips. The other half. Okay, and now because we have extra virgin olive oil, and if we have quite a lot of it, it can be quite bitter. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar into here, just to counteract that bitterness with the acidity. Now we're going to give it another really good blitz. Okay, so now we just need to add our salt and pepper last. Okay, salt and pepper, and now give it one final go. All right, so there we have it. There's our dressing. So now we've used the bulb, we're going to get into the stems. They have beautiful little triangle shapes in the stems, and this is the juicy part of the onion weed. So we're just gonna slice the onion weed stems into half kind of centimetre pieces. You don't want to go too thin when you're slicing for drying, because all the kind of slimy bit will come out. So you want to carry on slicing the onion weed stems till you get to just below where the flower starts. I'm going to scoop those up and pop them onto a lined baking tray. So we want to spread them out so that they're nice one layer, and we're going to dry these in a very, very low oven. As well as being delicious, onion weed has really great health benefits. So it's a prebiotic, it helps with your memory and blood cholesterol. All right, that's about enough. So we'll scoop these up, pop them on the tray. So we've got a nice full tray all in one single layer. Now we're going to pop it into the lowest setting in the oven if you're using the oven, or 50 degrees if you're using a dehydrator. So we're just going to pop this tray in. And it's going to take a couple of hours to dry them right out, so they want to be really, really dried and crispy to the touch. Having it at a low temperature keeps the green colour in the onion weed, which is what you really want. You don't want to turn it up too much higher. It will take a little bit of a long time, but if you alter the temperature, it will discolour your onion weed. So now we wait. Okay, so now we're going to make some onion weed rock salt. We're going to make that in our little spice grinder here. You could also do it in mortar and pestle, but this just grinds it all up nice and fine together. So we're going to add a 1/4 cup of salt, 1/2 cup of the dried onion weed, we've got another 1/4 cup, pop it in there. We have 6 Kawakawa, dried Kawakawa leaves. Just going to crush those into there. And I have some of my dried seaweed. I'm just going to put half of this in there. So you just got to make sure that that's nice and crispy. Okay, pop that all in there and we'll whiz it up. And give it a little shake. Right, that should be that. So I love this salt because of all the added nutrients. It's like a super salt. I have a little taste of it there. It packs a real punch. It's like kind of green onion flavouring, and the pepperiness of the Kawakawa is really delicious, and you know that you've got your iodine and your trace nutrients in there from the seaweed. So now we've made our onion weed mayo and our onion weed salt. We're going to use this mayonnaise to dress a potato and Kumara salad. I've also got some thinly sliced daikon and wild fennel that I've foraged from my garden. So we're going to start with dressing our potato and daikon so it's nice and flavourful. So everything gets a nice little lick of this delicious dressing. Okay. And now we're going to slice some onion weed stems to go onto the salad, and we're also going to dissect the flowers off of the stem because this little bit here is a little bit tough, that bit there, so we're just going to take that off. So I'll show you how to do that. So we'll slice through our onion weed because these stems are so nice and juicy. We really want to get a good serving of the stems on the salad as well. So I've got about 10 onion weed stems on here. Take that off. Okay, so we'll just sprinkle this over the top. So that's a really nice freshness to the steamed root vegetables. Okay, and then when we get to the end with our onion weed flowers, to detach, I'll just find a little one here. Okay, so there's a bunch of little onion weed flowers on there. So what we do is pull it down there and take your knife to just to the top of where it all joins and cut. And so that just loosens off all the onion weeds so that they're individuals. So we'll do that to a bunch of these because this is our beautiful decoration to our salad. And because it's such a delicate oniony flavour, you can really go over the top with these flowers. Okay, so I've got a nice, good big handful, which is going to be perfect for our salad. So now we want to pop these crispy toppings on. So we've got our crispy chickpeas and crispy capers, which is going to be a nice little salty element to the dish as well. So we'll just pop those on top. So you're getting some protein with your chickpeas as well. And crispy chickpeas, if you haven't tried crispy chickpeas, yeah, you want to get into these. They're really, really yum. Great way to turn a salad into a meal. Okay, so we've got those on the top there. And then last of all, our good sprinkling of onion flowers. And there we go, our Kumara potato and onion weed salad. So now we're going to make our tempura onion flowers. So we've got our white flour and cornstarch, corn flour in here, and we're going to add some soda water into this mix whilst continually whisking. We can have a few lumps in this batter because it makes a really nice light batter and those little lumps kind of pop. And if you don't have soda water, you can just put a little bit of baking soda in there and then just add water because that will give it the lift that it needs, that the soda water brings. So we'll just add slowly into the middle. So we start whisking in the centre and then slowly move outwards. Okay, just going to go right around the outside of the bowl now. So this batter wants to be not too thin and not too thick. So just a little bit more. It doesn't really like to be as thin as a usual tempura batter just because the flours are a little bit delicate, so it needs quite a nice coating. So you can see that there's still a few lumps in there, which is totally fine. It doesn't need to be perfectly smooth. Okay, so I'll leave that there like that. It's the kind of consistency you're after. Okay. So to tell if your oil has heated to the right temperature, we're using rice bran oil here. I like to use rice bran oil because it's got a really neutral flavour, a high smoke point, and it's just a really clean taste, so you can really taste what you're cooking through the oil. So to tell if it is up to temperature, you just grab a little bit of the batter and pop it in, and if it springs straight back up and fizzing like this, that means that the oil's reached the right temperature to start cooking. That's kind of the perfect length, so you have enough room to dip your flour in and pull it out by the stem, and then we're just going to lay it into the hot oil. So you want to make sure that whole flour has a nice coating of batter on, and then just wipe it on the side and lay it gently into your hot oil. So I'll pick that up with the other hand, lay it through, drag it up the side, and then lay it down into the oil. So we keep doing this, and we don't want to overcrowd the hot oil or else the temperature will go down too low, and if your temperature is too low with your hot fat, then it starts to seep into the product and make it all greasy, which is what we don't want. We want a nice crispy batter. There you go. Just going to have a little tutu around with this. So this is our frying spider. So I just want to flip these over so that they're getting a nice even cooking. So we don't have a lot of deep fried food in our family because when we go to the fish and chip shop, all we can have is chips, or sometimes they have spring rolls. So I really like to have a Friday night treat night and make deep fried onion weed flowers. Also, you can deep fry lots of plant-based proteins like tofu and tempeh are really nice done in a tempura batter. Any of the brassicas like cauliflower or broccoli works really nice with this batter also. So these are ready. They've got a nice golden brown colour going on there. We scoop them up, drain them off. And then we're going to pop them on a cooling rack on a tray. So this helps keep them crispy. You want to give a little bit of a sprinkle of salt and then onto our next batch. So the temperature that this is at is 180 degrees. When you start putting the items in there, the temperature lowers slightly and then it will come back up to temperature when the onion weed flowers are cooked, so that you're doing a continuous roll of frying. You don't really want to stop or walk away from your hot oil as you're frying, so you just want to kind of do this until you're finished, as oil can, if it gets too hot, it's a bit dangerous. Okay, they're looking quite golden, so I'll just give one a little test to see if it's crispy on the outside, because that's what we're looking for. You can feel that they're nice and kind of crispy, so we can take those guys out. I hope this has inspired you to look at onion weed in a different way. It's so satisfying utilising the free and abundant weeds growing in the backyard. For more on the health benefits of onion weed, please visit thevegietree.com.